side of Omegalil. And yeah, we're waiting for the next pick. Traditionally, it has been cores being picked around this time. Otherwise, they get banned.
Man, what happened to old Juggernaut, you know? A guy that loves...
just got banned.
Okay.
What does he love?
What does he love?
He loves both. He loves the meta right now. He's great with Grimstroke for the ball. He's great with Darkseer for the ball. That's the most classic combo.
What is the ball in reference to here? What is
Ion Shell in the Inkswell.
Oh, okay.
You know, put that shit on him, and then Juggernaut's little spin that's pretty bad early. I mean, pretty good early game at dealing damage. Now becomes an unstoppable nightmare if it catches anybody.
I'm with you.
So we're gonna see Prophet picked up. That's hype. Mr. Teleport around, and that's more aggression, I have to say, Tsunami.
Yeah, I fear the amount of burst damage coming out from Omegalil. I don't really know, seeing as how so many of the tanky cores have been banned out, the Lifestealer, the Morphling, the Sven. Yeah, they're kind of... It's up to this Darkseer and this Clockwork to somehow tank the initiation, but I don't know, like you said, the ball... The
balls.
Ball.
B-A-W-L-Z.
Ball.
The balls!
Gets just cuts right past them. You don't need to worry about it with that move speed buff.
That's right. What about Yaki? Oh, Yaki. There's a lot of stuns, there's a lot of slows, a lot of AoE. Might slow down our Tiny.
Just think of the wombo combo potential. I think that's the only thing I'm going to look forward to seeing in this game so far.
Holy shit.
Vacuum into Macropyre into Ice Path.
And trapped in the cogs, Sheever.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Clockwork kind of doesn't fit because he's going to mess everything up.
Jesus!
Because the Vacuum is going to put everybody together, and then Clockwork is going to use his cogs at probably just the wrong time and push everybody out of the Ice Path and Macropyre.
Defeatist attitude.
It just feels...
I think you can only have
disconnecting.
like 3 units inside of cogs before people start slipping out. And actually, there is an interesting interaction with Sprout and cogs. If you ever Sprout, whoever you target inside of cogs with Sprout will immediately pop out.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's so you can target the Clockwork, you can target whoever he cogged in, and then there's get right out.
Huh?
It's quite peculiar.
That's pretty good. Oh, hey, look at this combo. You remember this bad boy from TI? Grimstroke throws the Phantom on, and then Pugna hits them, and they can't hit it off. That's how you keep somebody super silenced in this game. We're going to be seeing that picked out here from Omegalil. Very exciting.
Did Lil and G used to be on the same team together?
Probably.
Probably.
CIS it's just
boys.
interesting to see that they're up against each other this time around. Yeah. I also thought it was interesting to see G actually finally move into a support role as he moved away from mid. We used to always see him in the middle lane. But
well,
he's position 5.
Question is, Tsunami, are we going to see more Wombo combo here? We got a bunch of big boys that still have been knocked out, and we're seeing, like, you know, Magnus banned out, other big Wombo combo boys.
Yeah, one positions that would be able to contribute to team fight is probably nice, but I under normal circumstances I'd be like, oh hey, IO gyrocopter or something like that. But instead, whoa,
nobody saw that.
We'll go for a Spectre instead. A tanky hero who won't be as susceptible to the burst damage that I was initially fearful of from Omegalil, so they're starting to have some reliability in terms of just not being terrified whenever Tiny's off the map and Nature's Prophet's off the map.
Gotta love guys like Pugna, who rely so much on not being focused, right, and letting them do their stuff, and then a Spectre just jumps in on the back line and just ruins all that. I mean, it's a little scary if you're a Spectre, of course, if you don't have the farm needed, but it really breaks the kind of cohesion from this team. Great pick in this patch. Pretty good pick in this game, I think, but they got so much burst, though. If they do well in the early game, Spec are gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, especially since this Furion's looking to be offlane, I would guess that this Pugna's gonna go mid, and Omegalil are looking for their own one position to go up against the Spectre. So not really that great of a support if they decide to send the Jakiro as a 5. So laning phase, not great, but it's okay.
I'm surprised to see EXTREMUM banning out only cores. They are, I guess between all these, there has to be 2 supports on the side of Omegalil still. But they're banning out a lot of cores, but they're not banning out the hero that we saw banned out the whole series previously, Terrorblade.
Terrorblade?
Terrorblade.
Oh, I think that both teams kind of have ways to deal with terribly, right? They have a bunch of AoE magical damage. It'd be pretty tough. I guess no, if Omegalil wanted to pick it up, that'd be better. But yeah, ignored for this series. A big difference in playstyle, of course. No Arteezy in this match, so Terrorblade is a little less scary. The only guy who can actually make that hero sing. And there is a Night Stalker.
Ooh.
Talk about get on top of the Pugna. Talk about get on top of everybody. A pretty aggressive pick there. That is a run-at-you squad. 4 guys making room for Spectre.
Who is their mid laner?
Ooh, that's Jakiro.
I think Night
Oh,
Stalker
now
would-
that I would be on board
I
with.
think Night Stalker would be their mid laner.
Okay, I
I mean,
guess
it's
you
the
can-
only scenario.
Well, I mean, it could be Mijikiro. That's not wild.
We are assuming Nature's Prophet is the mid on the side of Omegalil.
No, I was thinking Pugna's going to be the mid, but I don't really think the matchup
Viper.
matters too much.
Viper. Oh my god, this is a lore fight right here, man.
What the hell is this?
Why is this a lore fight?
Oh, Viper used to be Pugna's pet as confirmed. It used to be a theory, but now it's confirmed that Viper was the one who spat into Pugna's old life and killed him. He melted his fucking face
But
off.
they're on the same team. How is this?
Spat
But
into them?
yeah, Pugna is a Dalai Lama. So old Pugna wizard died and then they reincarnated into a baby. That's a little kid up there that's got the soul of an angry dead wizard.
Is he still upset with Viper or?
I
not
thought it was
anymore?
funny. His
Okay.
lines were like, "Ha ha, you rascal, get out of here."
You know what's also pretty funny? The odds being somewhat in favor of Omegalil. I am curious if you guys agree with these odds.
It's hilarious.
Now that you see the draft.
Those
I
odds
said
are a real knee
somewhat
slapper
funny.
right
I said
there,
somewhat
Shimmer.
funny.
Laugh at
I
them.
had to find a segue, Tsunami. Please. Appreciate it.
I mean, I
do.
do consider that to be reasonable, although these two teams would be the closest matched. Seeing as that was the very last game in Group A, we know where pretty much everyone stays.
Yep.
Cyber Legacy is crushing it, Voldemort's sucking it, and
Whoa!
somewhere in
They
between.
have not won.
Voldy?
They're out. They're
They're out.
eliminated. You're not
Oh,
going to see them again.
boy. Rest in pickles.
Between Tempo, Khan, and Extremum, and this is where it all comes down to. Based off the draft, I'm favoring Omegalil mainly because I have no idea how Extremum are supposed to lane this. I don't like any of their mid lane situations, and they now have to deal with Spectre getting broken by Viper, which is
All
pretty
right.
much the go-to ban. So
Any final words?
I agree. Viper was a great ban. Hard to run at a
Okay.
Viper and live,
Okay.
must say.
just spit
Well,
in his
let's
face.
find out what our commentary team thinks about this draft. It is Cap and Lizard for you.
That's right. It could be the last match of this group unless Extremum lose, right? In which case they end up in that 2-3 three-way tiebreaker situation. It'd be a little weird. We'd have a lot more matches underway. And who the hell knows what would happen with the broadcast. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, Lizard.
What do you think? What would happen? Would they force us to work until the morning, 6 in the morning, just good old CIS boys battling it out?
My contract says only 2 series a day, so
Wait, you
you're
have a
gonna
contract?
To solo cast this.
What? Contract?
They only saved that with tier 1 casters. Sorry, Lizard.
Dude, I've been hit by tier 3 analyst from Slacks. Now you're destroying me as well.
You know what's
Can
really awful is that
can you-
Lizard doesn't deserve any of this abuse because he has the worst schedule out of all of us. Every single time I come into work here, Lizard's working first series and last series. Every single time. Lizard, why do you take it? I see you. You're like,
actually-
it's fine. I'll take
Okay,
first and last.
so I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I work with Kyle a lot.
Yeah.
And usually my girlfriend is here in Kiev, right? If we work from Kiev.
Sure.
And because of that, I always ask to be first, second, or second and last, so I have more time to spend with her. But now she's not around, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take it, you know.
Okay. So this is payback
this
for
is
all those
payback
times.
for all
I
the past
see.
times. In my point of view, at least in my eyes. But I think Kyle is just sadistic. He's just enjoying this
Oh,
quite a lot. Yeah.
absolutely. He would never do that to himself, only to others. Hey, called it. Melojul is going to be playing Darkseer mid because, you know, you're not going to put Night Stalker in that mid lane matchup. There's just no way I could see that as a winning possibility.
That's
so
horrible, man. That would be
Yeah.
horrible. Night Stalker on the mid lane. By the way, my boy Non Grata playing for Extremum. He wasn't here before. Very interested to see what he will change in this team. Well, how do you feel about this draft so far?
Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if Malik dies first, because they do have a lot of slows to be able to chase him down, but it looks like he will live. Just one hit left. They almost got a kill on Malik, who used to be a part of EXTREMUM.
Yeah, that's actually very important for them that he survives, because Tiny was creep skipping, and now he is going to have a free wave under the tower. Usually what they do is they counter that creep skip by going on the offlaner, who's usually a little bit too greedy, trying to snatch some experience without his position 4.
Okay, so my initial thoughts are this could be a really good Night Stalker game if he actually has a good lane, which is always kind of the struggle with Night Stalker. Is like you have to have a good start to your laning phase, and then you also must have your like first rotations go well. Whether that's in the first night or the second night, you know, that is some people choose to farm a little bit more, but
damn,
Nefrit does go down.
Lil with the first VOD, finally not hiding behind his John or Jane Doe or whatever.
Was he playing on a different account or something? Because I saw he played on the last series with them, but then on this account he hadn't played a series for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so look, the same way we in the West like to bash on Weha whenever he loses, right?
Yeah.
It's the same in the CIS towards Lil, even harder.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's a little different though, because Weha has at least seen some good success.
That's I mean, Lil was a part of that good Virtus Pro run, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah, and then what?
And then nothing.
Yeah.
Then nothing at all, but he thinks that he's pressured quite a lot, and because of that he changed the nickname. He tried to fake vacation or whatnot. It didn't really change too much. I saw the chat just flaming him regardless.
Yeah, that's, you know, I have to say, Kellett, he has to cut his way through the trees or something here. He actually plants a tree to be able to block Nongrata out, pops a healing salve from Happy, and will be able to survive. Gets back to the base and will TP back in. So nicely played. That was a very close call, though. Now he's going to be TP right back onto Nongrata, and they sandwich him. Beautiful stuff from Omegalil.
Did they completely sandwich him? Wasn't he able to just... I think he decided to stand and fight there.
I guess. I don't know.
But
Thanks, well.
Well, here, oh my...
EXTREMUM's just feeding. What's going on? EXTREMUM's just feeding. What's going on?
5 kills, 3 minutes in. All right, are we going to see the repeat of that last game in which Slacks was talking about sharks and coconuts?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I heard it.
I must have missed that part.
Yeah, I heard that. It was a long discussion between him and Kyle.
To be fair, I usually try and tune out when either one of them is talking, so, you know, like, both of them at the same time, it's just like white noise to me, you know?
I see your point. This mid lane Darkseer so far is doing well. All right, Viper does have 17 denies, which is, quite rough, but you're finding CS, and you really didn't have an answer for this Viper in your draft. Putting this Darkseer mid lane is the best case scenario for you.
It's the best of a bad situation overall. They didn't have a better answer to it, so we'll have to see as the lanes break down. Maybe things will start getting a little bit better. After all, they do have some like really big rotating ganking heroes. Night Stalker, Clockwork. I think one thing that also stood out to me, not going to be the most fun Pugna game in the world, right? He's got Ice Path, Night Stalker gets on top of you, Clockwork gets on top of you, Spectre instantly on top of you, and then Darkseer can surge to bring people out of the life train on top of just having another decent range disable.
It's one of those games in which one defensive item doesn't look good enough. You need 2 or 3, and your teammates need to play really well around you for you to really utilize this Pugna. But one good thing that Omegalil have got going for themselves is they do have the Viper versus Spectre matchup, and they have a lot of pushing power.
Yeah. You've seen that that Viper versus Spectre matchup just destroy the Spectre in a lot of previous games, so we'll see if it comes true in this game as well. Just going straight up for the drums, apparently.
We have drums, couple of raid bands, that's what we are pretty much used to be seeing right now. Then you go Manta, Skadi. I think in this kind of a game, the Manta is really good, but you need a BKB as well versus Viper at some point, so we'll see what he opts to go for.
Am I crazy? Wouldn't you want boots?
Boots are usually, yeah, they're
Yeah,
fine.
you know,
Well,
like that hero that life drains you and does the infinite amount of damage if you don't move away fast enough.
Boots are a solid option for many heroes nowadays, I heard.
I just wanted to double check that I didn't actually see Boots in that list at all, but who knows? Maybe he's just doing that thing where he queues it up. Darkseer with the surge, allowing them to get on top of Kellen. Kellen, who is definitely going to die here, but they're actually going to try and fight underneath this tier 1 tower. Velor is definitely dead. Sunlight, though, he's going to find his rotation. Not really allowing him to get a kill anywhere. G. Good old G, man. It's a decade of playing competitive Dota. Oh, TP away. The Night Stalker, it's a close call, but he's going to die before the TP completes.
That's non grata, my dude. This isn't how you want to die. You're a Night Stalker, you're dying during the first night, and you're dying to a Viper. You saw him TP there.
Yeah.
There were other options. Other much better options for you.
Yeah, we didn't see it, but it looked like maybe there was like a stick situation. Velor, okay, the Cogs is decent, and he won't tick out, so he has a chance to live here. See if Grimstroke spots him happy.
He has no mana on Grimstroke, right? So you should be fine with Clockwork. You have Tranquils as well. I love Tranquils so much on position 4 Clock. On offlane, I think getting a Hood with Power Treads is just much better, but on position 4, if you have Tranquils, it just allows you to stay on the map.
Yeah.
Bottom tier 1.
Oh, you said a lot of pushing power. That comes from these two heroes, Nature's Prophet plus Pugna. There's not a whole lot that Extreme can do to stop that. What they can do is run around and try and get kills. Happy is going to be able to get an Inkswell off and is hoping to kill the Clockwork. Of course, he cannot do enough physical damage with just his attacks. Malik, though, is still looking to defend this tower.
And remember, it's the same Clock that was on 5% HP just a minute ago. He moved back because of the Tranquils and he made a kill without going base.
It's diving time. Is anybody going to TP in here? They're going to try. They're going to pop the glyph, TP in. Nagrata does not have his level 6, so he's going to have to cut down the tree in order to get away.
I really want to see Extremum on the responding side of these pushes from Omegalil. They really have the heroes that can punish all the aggression. But Omegalil as well aren't really pushing that hard right now. They took the tier 1 on the bottom lane, but I don't see the Viper plus Pugna combo doing a whole lot. Nature's Prophet as well. They're kind of happy with just taking one tier 1 so far.
It's a good thing they have, I like the fact they're giving the Jakiro a little bit of space to get some levels, because he is one of the better tower defenders that they have in this game, right? Pretty much the only good one.
The thing is, yeah, he's the only good one. I think how you set up defenses around your towers is just by sheer mobility and team fight, right? You can stop these pushes, you just need to be all there.
Yeah.
Which is not happening for this mid lane.
Yeah, they're being a little bit slow to rotate right now. They're just going to throw out the wall, get a Viper illusion, try and push back Omegalil. You could see they really want to keep this mid tower alive, but they're going to have to pull a lot more heroes if they want to do so, because it looks like Omegalil, they're going to double down. It's still nighttime, though, for another 30 seconds. Lil sees his opportunity, may be able to catch the Clockwork, but he gets off the Cogs first. They're going to toss him over now. The Viper is on the wrong side of that Cogs, but there's nobody there to really punish him. So they're just going to keep it up, take that mid tower. Extremum, even at nighttime, cannot seem to fight.
Yep. So I did say that I would like to see them S5 trying to defend, and that's what happened there. They did bring in the forces, but your supports are severely underleveled. Mainly this Clockwork. He was level 3. He's not going to fight.
They're a little bit split right now. They're trying to go for this kill. If they can stop that TP, they do. Kellen's going to go down, but at the same time, Sunlight getting some free damage onto this Night Stalker. Ice Path, Macropire, that's going to do a lot, though. And Sunlight, he's going to fall as well. A nice double kill for Mellow Jewel.
This Darkseer from the mid lane coming in clutch. Overall, the Darkseer on mid lane isn't that bad. You can match up versus almost anything with the Iron Shell and farm. Plus, you can always stack medium camps, or even the hard one if you want. You'll always find farm.
Yeah.
And remember, Darkseer, as long as he has a mediocre game early on, he will be impactful. And so far, he's been just that.
Yeah, if he can get like a fast level 15, it's one of the more impactful. Like when he's got all of his abilities maxed out, he gets that 15 talent, and you've got a lot of heroes that take advantage of Ion Shell and Surge.
You got some pretty decent combos with the Jakiro as well, right? So overall, it's a good Darkseer game.
Pull people into Ice Path. You could even pull them into Cogs as well. Afraid he's going to be caught. Man, Tiny is just an insane hero. I just want to say that. Every single time I see these support Tinies and they like have the power to bring down cores. It was that series that we were watching earlier today, that Ember Spirits, man.
Yep.
He just kept on dying to the support Tiny.
Especially this new build with the Blink Dagger and Veil, right?
Yeah.
It's just such a versatile hero.
See if they can kill Happy before the Inkswell goes off. They do. No extra damage there. Mellow-Jewel's just going to... No, he is actually going to turn around, see if he can save the Clockwork before he TPs out, and both of them do survive as a result.
Oh, nice Surge. He had an option there to use Hookshot to get out, but if Pugna uses his ward, that could actually kill him, right, because of the mana.
G gives up his life to be able to kill that Observer ward.
Double damage.
You know, I was checking because I hadn't seen G a little bit. And I was checking to see if he'd been playing on teams consistently over the last, like, 2 years. And apparently he has been. Small breaks here and there. I just hadn't really seen him around.
He has been. I believe he played for Old But Gold as well, right?
Yep, he did.
They came second in the minor last year. Overall, he has been around. He has been playing, but not on position 5. However, so far he's looking really good on post 5.
Nice catch. Clockwork getting on top of Malik. This is what we're talking about. Pugna just kind of getting wasted. And I'm not sure if that Decrepify really saves you too much. Velar, unfortunately, is going to be found by the creeps. Unfortunate timing there.
Yeah. It's one of the things when I was still playing that I practiced it, memorizing where the creeps are exactly on the lane so that you can make those joke plays. But yeah, unfortunate for him. Sometimes you're just... The problem is usually when you're doing that, you're chased by 3 heroes and you don't have time to check.
Yeah. There's the combination. An Ion Shell, Surged, Nighttime, Night Stalker. That's definitely going to get a kill on anybody who's isolated, in which case both the Viper and the Tiny certainly are. Now, there is going to be some TPs coming in. The Ice Pass still lands, and there's going to be the save there from Malik. Nangrata a little bit low on mana here. Can't really commit too much, but Omegalil, they've made some pretty hefty rotations, and if they don't actually save this tower or anything, that's going to be a great trade for EXTREMUM.
And you also see this Viper, he's on top of net worth, but he is dying, and he's dying on his side of the map, which means you aren't taking objectives, which means Spectre is farming, which means eventually you will fall off, and this Spectre will not care about your Nether Toxin if you just die in the first few seconds of the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like Omegalil maybe should have been able to just kind of roll over EXTREMUM and start taking, maybe not the tier 2 towers just yet, but at least controlling a larger share of the map. But things have been kind of going wrong. Nice use of the vacuum right as the life drain goes off. They're pinging Malik pretty heavily here and are going to be able to land the hook shot. So Malik puts himself so far forward and looks like he may end up dying unless this Clockwork goes down quickly. Malik is not going to burn out just yet. He needs a little bit more, and they do get him. Mellow-Jewel is going to use that Surge, which he thought was needed to kill Pugna. Now try and run away. Does he have a Quelling Blade to be able to get out of this Sprout when it goes down? It doesn't even have a chance to go down. He's too far away.
Yeah, that's a really good response from Omegalil. They're recognizing that this Pugna will be the main target of Omegalil, and then they just follow him up.
Yeah.
Hookshot is used, but instant follow-up from the Soulbind into double Viper Strike, which kills off 2 heroes on EXTREMUM.
Very key timing for EXTREMUM now. This is a second nighttime. Good job getting off the Inkswell before he could get the silence around Happy. Does a decent amount of damage, but will die eventually here. Nangrata, there he goes. Look at the boy. He's running, he's keeping some vision on him, but he doesn't have mana, and Sunlight, I think, is a bit too tanky for them, but they're going to go for it anyway. Velor, he tries to get him into a position. He's tossed back into Kellen here, but Sunlight underneath the Macro Pyre, he's going to get burned out.
if you're Extremum, you're happy with this. Like even if you are losing these fights, if you're trading evenly, you're happy with this because you understand that late game is yours. And if you're not fighting on your side of the map under their terms, that's good for you. You're forcing them in these engagements in which they aren't threatening your objectives, which is keeping the map open for you. And like we're all saying, okay, Omegalil have this draft that's really easy to push with, but Extremum, they're no pushover. Like you can definitely set up a good defense.
What a kill.
Yeah, Lil boy.
Catching Nefrit while he's farming, while he's low.
Really well played by him. Tiny is crazy. Like you said before, this hero, like, he's been nerfed, and then everyone stopped playing him on the mid lane. Right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly, okay, but position 4 is just as strong.
Yeah.
It's maybe even better now.
It came back into support, and then we had the that extreme toss range, level 1, it was 1200 range or something like that, right? And then they're like, okay, we need to nerf that, and people are like, well, Tiny's still good. I don't have to rely only on the cheese of tossing people. Tossing is still really good, even at level 1, but this hero still outputs shit tons of damage.
The Tiny Airlines.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he's just good later on in the game, right? Because of that Veil build, you can pretty much blow up a core like he did earlier. And you get that talent with tossback that it doesn't require a target, right? That one is just pretty sick.
Yeah, it's like you hit this beautiful timing right now where you're able to like one-shot cores as a support. It's pretty insane. But then later on, maybe you don't have that anymore, but you have the blink toss back. You're also extremely tanky, so you're really good at being able to... You're basically a better version of Vengeful Spirit, right? You put yourself in danger and put one of the enemy into your team, except for you're super tanky. Vengeful Spirit will die in just like 2 nukes. A Tiny... You have to lay down a ton of spells to be able to bring him down.
At least he doesn't spawn another rock after he dies. So, so there's
just,
that.
Like the neutral golems. Night Stalker caught during nighttime. This is one of the worst case scenarios.
Imagine if one derp golem spawns after Tiny dies, or the 2 small ones, you know.
Yeah.
After Tiny dies, you should spawn two small derp golems. Why not?
Yeah, that's what you need. A little bit more nuking power for Tiny.
So far, Extremum, on the big cores, they have itemized properly versus Tiny, which is something that you should copy in your pubs as well, by raindrops. Like, a raindrop is the most valuable item versus a position 4 Tiny. It breaks his combo, and you will be able most of the time to survive.
Yeah, if you could get a value cloak right now, too, which is a cheap item, you get that in raindrops, and you'll be decently prepared. Bonus points if you can get a bracer or something as well. $7,000 net worth lead for Omegalil. They're baiting Sunlight right now.
He does have a pike, so if you do manage to use that hookshot on top of him, he should be able to get out. The problem is, what if they use Ice Bat instantly after?
Sitting on the high ground. They do manage to get the silence on top of the Tiny here. The hook shot forward to be able to make sure the Pugna is not going to be able to get that good drain off. They see a better target in him, but he's surviving for a little bit. Finally gets nuked down from the Void. What a beautiful vacuum wall, though, from Jewel. Sunlight barely managed to force staff himself up the cliff there to be able to stay alive. It's just the 1 and 2 position of Omegalil right now, and Kellen is challenging anybody to be able to fight him mano a mano, but looks like he's going to be slowly but surely poked at by Extremum. They don't want to overcommit. Look at even the healing salve being popped on Nefrit. They're thinking about going back in, but they choose not to, and it's probably for the best right now. That's a good fight.
Yeah, they circled around him like wolves, but you have another Toxin follow-up from Viper. It's easier to just let him go. You just want a big team fight for Extremum. And it all started with a bad reaction from Omegalil. When Tiny is caught like that, I think you just let him go. Just accept that. They initiated with so many heroes, and then you waste 2 of your biggest utilities on saving Lil. You use Force Staff and Decrepify. Then everyone else is kind of vulnerable and in a bad spot for that great vacuum wall, like you mentioned.
Hey, one more thing that makes Tiny OP, free courier killing.
Yep.
You see a courier, toss a tree at it, easy one shot. Looks like he's going to be getting Force Staff as Force Staff's very value item in this game against Clockwork and the Night Stalker.
Yeah, I'm wondering what non-Grata is going to buy even. Oh,
toss him over to Kellen, and Kellen, with that assist, takes the kill.
That was one of those hook shots when you're literally on top of the target,
yeah,
and then you don't hook on top of him, but somewhere to the side. A little awkward.
A little awkward, as is this Ice Path thrown out from G. He knows he's dead, so he just throws out a Macro Pyre, but just not the greatest reaction there from G, and not the greatest reaction from Nefrit, putting himself in that exact position. I feel like that part of the map is the most likely place to get caught when you have a Viper hitting your tier 2. He's obviously not doing it alone. He didn't dive your tier 2 for a Jakiro kill because he was by himself. He's obviously has some backup.
The thought process was, okay, they just killed Clockwork. They couldn't have gotten here so fast, but they smoked up and instantly ran over there. And he also has a ward there on a cliff, so he's... But you could see the way he's moving up those stairs, he's kind of hesitant. He's not really rushing it. He's kind of moving back and forward, so he knew that he was in danger. He just risked it.
Gotta trust your instincts. Now we're getting to what is beginning to be a bit of an insurmountable lead here. 11,000 net worth for Omegalil. No doubt they're supposed to be ahead. They're the lineup that has the tower pressure. They have a Nature's Prophet on their team, which farms really well, but this gold lead is beginning to get a bit excessive, Lizard.
Yeah, you can see that they took most towers on the map. Meanwhile, they only lost one. That's where some of this gold advantage is coming from.
They're going to pop this darkness here, try and get into the back line. Sunlight trying to make himself a target. Oh no, the Spectre illusion blocking as Velor tries to get on top of Happy. They do manage to kill him eventually here, but they got the Soulbind out. Malik is going to go for the double drain, double Decrepify, the toss back over. That's going to finish off the Clockwork. They activate the BKB, and Omegalil will stand strong against Extremum, trading 1-for-1 here. But that was with Darkness used, the Spectre ult used as well, and looks like they're going to be able to get a secondary kill on top of that. Honestly, that was a great fight for Omegalil, and now that things have been expended from Extremum, you've got free reign of the map.
Yeah, that was a perfect fight for Omegalil. Is it rush time? It looks like it is. You just lost your Grimstroke, who's already up. You know that they have absolutely no way of fighting here. No hookshot, no darkness, no haunt, no vacuum wall.
And Kellen still has his extra damage as well, so...
It was just such a sad fight for Extremum. Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah. I always feel like that's one of those classic mistakes of Spectre Clockwork. Just let your Clockwork cook first, and then pop your ult. Because then your illusion, even if you don't jump to that person that he hookshot, at least your illusion's going to get in some good swing time. Right?
Maybe what they were waiting for is some vision from the haunt, right? So you know exactly where you're going from, because usually haunt isn't only used for just getting there as Spectre, but to give your team the vision.
Nice. Look at that. He forced Staff forward to try and get vision for the Wrath of Nature to deal that killing blow.
Wrath of Nature. What, 700 damage on the last target, level 1?
Yeah, I think it's something like 680 damage, and obviously you're going to have some intelligence that buffs that up to being over 700.
Yeah, some null tally here and there if possible.
Yeah,
it's
pretty insane. Darkseer not caught by the Sprout. He's just too damn fast.
They're also struggling against this BKB that just came on Nature's Prophet. He kind of becomes not a target for you anymore. This Spectre does not have the damage to deal with him. And on the side of Extremum, you also need your BKBs. Oh, Lil. He's got him, but... Nah, just kidding.
Smart TP away. Has Callan died yet?
I was
just thinking, he's done a really good job.
Yeah, 15k on top of network charts. I don't believe he died even.
Yeah. What a beast. Man, formerly known as Arc, was one of those CIS players that... It was just such a weird time where the CIS players were going down to Southeast Asia. Remember that? Arc joined MAG in going down to Southeast Asia and playing for Mineski back in 2017.
I think it all started with Yol. He went there.
Yeah.
He went there for I can't remember what the team was. He literally stopped playing with me and went to CA afterwards. He's a part of Voldemort right now, not really doing that great, so it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, his loss, his loss. He missed out on a great future with you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not.
He could be talent.
Yeah, he definitely could. He could be a talent. He was he was funny, if nothing else. I love him.
14-26, 16,000 net worth lead for Omegalil. And, well, at this point in time, you just kind of have to group up and make sure you don't get caught out by the nighttime.
Like, EXTREMUM are so far behind on this Spectre. He died just a few too many times in this game that he doesn't even have that Manta completed. And if he does, it's coming like online right now. There.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. But it's not an item that allows you to fight in this game. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You're still far behind. The only thing that's really keeping them in this game and giving them a opportunity is Jakiro plus vacuum combo. This is always significant.
So it all comes down to that high ground defense. And Omegalil, I'm not sure if they're going to risk trying to go high ground while it's still nighttime.
Yeah, you don't have to. You can wait it out a little bit. You do have this Aegis. Maybe that might push you a little bit forward, make an aggressive move with that Aegis, right? But you don't have to force yourself. I don't think that they're in this spot in which they're worried that Spectre will take over.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially since they have some pretty good answers to the Spectre already, thanks to the Viper. A little bit surprised they gave the Aegis to the Pugna, but I guess they feel like everybody else can't really die, and they'd probably be right. Nice vacuum wall. Helps saving Nefrit here. Unfortunately, they can't really respond and actually try and get aggressive, even though it's nighttime, even though they got that vacuum wall, they're still too scared of fighting into Omegalil.
Omegalil, they look like they're really good at responding to any aggression and being there in time. But what's really happening is their teammates are so fat that you can't chew through them as the enemy team before a response comes.
Yeah, just seems like you're just gonna run out of damage, or maybe just not put the damage out fast enough. I mean, this is the sad point of Night Stalker, where he's just like, I can't really commit. Like, all I can do is void people from a distance, you know, which means you're not getting one of the best uses of core Night Stalker, which is all that right-click damage when you pop Darkness. Jump in. Velor, they jump right as the Aegis explodes, and there it is! The vacuum ice wall combination beautifully set up, and that's going to take down two members of Omegalil, and the two cores, they're going to be falling in this backline pretty quickly here. They see on the high ground, this Pugna trying to TP away. Fortunately, Void was still on cooldown, but EXTREMUM. Lizard, you tried to warn Omegalil. You said this is the combo that could potentially be their downfall, and they pull it off perfectly.
Yeah, but what happens there? Lil, we were praising him throughout the game, but he jumps in with Tinkswell with that smoke on nothing.
Yeah, and a blind blink avalanche. I don't know sure what that was.
Completely blind. And then the follow-up comes from Pok, and they're sitting on stairs on that position in which it's so easy to follow up with the vacuum ice bat. And it was beautiful, man. EXTREMUM, well played.
And now it's going to get even harder to avoid that combination with Meljul picking up a blink dagger.
All these... so Blink Dagger on Darkseer is sick. Night Stalker also getting that BKB was huge for him, because it allows him to stay on top of targets during these fights. The only problem still is Viper Strike, obviously, but what you really want to use that Viper Strike on is Spectre. You really want to save that for her.
Yeah. Yeah, now we can actually use that damage like we were talking about as the Night Stalker, right? Now we can actually use that Ion Shell and all that right-click damage he gets out of Darkness to fully commit, going on to somebody.
You mentioned that really well. It's the BKB that activates him. It's his item that was definitely required at this point in the game. But hey, on the side of Omegalil, now you have AC on Kellen, and he'll just stand his ground. He'll fight you back. He's not that scared. Just need to use those BKBs.
Smoked up, trying to catch somebody while they're lingering outside the base. Now, the Jakiro is not that bad of a target, honestly, just because now you don't have to worry about that macro pyre stopping your high ground push, especially with Siege Wagon on the way.
You can't have Vacuum Ice Path without Jakiro. You can only have Vacuum.
Yeah. Look how quickly this damage gets pumped out. Even the Glyph, that's only going to be able to really remove some of the treants, as this next wave is going to stand strong.
What a massive kill.
They're going to pop BKB on the Spectre. There goes the vacuum wall combination with the Spectre coming in off the BKB, going straight for the supports, but he actually got soulbound to his own illusion. Oh no! He couldn't actually chase down the Grimstroke, and now the BKB is just being kited around. Pops the Manta and does not get tossed. So really great heads-up reaction from him there, but even better by Happy that saved his own life thanks to that soulbind.
They didn't take the side. That's pretty huge for EXTREMUM, considering what was happening there. I actually thought that they were losing this side for sure, but they decided to fight without G, without that Jakiro, and they defended. Pretty sick. They did lose some big spells in that fight, and Omegalil most likely will come again in the next minute.
Especially since it's daytime, even better that you've got double damage. And the cherry on top would be getting a kill on Nongrata, even after he pops his BKB. Beautiful stuff. And apparently our Pugna, who I believe had queued up a Scythe of Ice, is like, nah, what about double Dagon though? I can almost get a Scythe, or I can get a Dagon too.
Is it shipped out to him?
Yeah, it's flying out on the courier now. Nice toss back there from Lil. Catching G out of position again. He's going to come back down to Earth and head straight to his grave. And that's going to probably be 2 lanes of barracks.
That's 2 lanes, I believe. There's no way. You don't have any ultis. You have hookshot, but that ain't going to stop them. The only thing that will stop them from taking top lane is the tier 2 that's still standing. Unless they won't go for Throne. They'll be disciplined enough. I can respect this.
Yeah, after all, the world's their oyster at this point, because we're in that potential Roshan spawning time, so they'll probably just throw a courier in there, wait till it spawns, take that Roshan before they head for the Megas.
I really like how Omegalil, they noticed that this Jakiro is the biggest problem that they have in this game. And they just focused him. They killed him twice in a row, and it literally resulted in 2 sides for them. It's crazy, right? Position 5, but it means so much. Sometimes, if you're a position 5 and you die, you can say, okay, I'm just a 5. But this really isn't that kind of a game.
No, not at all. You've actually got to be a lot more careful if you're at the 5 position in this. As Omegalil, Roshan's up. And it's pretty much EXTREMUM, it's do or die. They kind of have to smoke up and play for that Roche area. I don't think they can give up Aegis and Cheese and have a chance of winning this game, but we'll see.
Full Satanic now as well on Aegis Prophet. Some extra sustain for him. Meanwhile,
it's a rough part, right? They just don't have any disables to stop BKB Satanic from going off. They just don't have a chance at being able to burst him down, I think. It is almost nighttime.
And they did smoke, so you could pop that ulti right now.
Yeah, if they pop Darkness, it'll perfectly chain up with nighttime. And they could have a nice long drawn-out fight here, but they're going straight into a high ground. This is a little dangerous. They try and go for the wall combination, but it only catches Sunlight here. Still, though, they do already take out the Grimstroke, and it looks like Sunlight is going to be dealt with by his own illusion plus Nefrit. And now, with the Furion, they do manage to get that hookshot onto him, but they need to deal with Malik, who's given him that extra HP. That's where Vela's going to try and play around. Kellen pops his BKB, turning and fighting. Nefrit's just playing in and out at this point in time. Oh, Nongrata! He got a little too close to Kellen, did not respect that damage. They could have left it any time, Lizard, but they decided to try and finish off the rest of Omegalil.
They weren't sure what to do. There wasn't really a true call in that whole engagement. After they killed off the Viper and Grimstroke, do we kill Nature's Prophet? Do we not? Do we kill him? Do we not? Meanwhile, he's just attacking you and he's killing you.
Blink away, Melojewel. He's going to give that surge to Nefrit. Malik thinks that Glimmer Cape will get a little distance away until he's pulled back in by the vacuum. Lil tries to come in, deal out his combination. The sound stops him, but Nongrata still has to run himself away. Melojewel low on mana here. Velar is going to be able to climb over the walls of the Roshan pit thanks to his spider legs. But there's a decent amount of mobility here, and Malik had the vision, is able to get the Decrepify long range. That'll slow him down long enough for the rest of his team to arrive.
Yeah. Also remember, Lil went for this crit and Echo Saber build, so he's dealing quite a lot of damage even after that combination. He's not only your nuke potential. I thought that he bought it for Silver Edge, that's where he's going, but it seems like he didn't. He's buying Ags after.
Yeah, he's just... That is planning for the late game, for sure, is going basically those two items to be able to build an Aghanim Scepter and get your full combo out.
He's playing for himself. That's what it is. You know, when you go when you go for this kind of a build, you just want to be the star of the show, and that's it.
And that does fit the personality that Lil has put forth on social media. To date, still one of the better heals of Dota 2, if only he had remained in the Tier 1 scene longer, you know.
Yep.
Like, who are better heals? PPD, easily, right? Easily the best heal you could ask for, right?
PPD, Lil, yeah, that's pretty much it. Is there anyone else? Yes, you can.
There's definitely some others, but
not as consistent. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, like very few people on the Tier 1 scene are willing to make that kind of play. Spectral going out, already missing their initiation. They do get the vacuum in the back, going straight for the Pugna, trying to deal with him, but honestly, it's taking so long for them to just kill the Pugna because he keeps on juking all these 4 stats, his own, and then somebody else's helps get him away. Happy, okay, he's gonna get ripped apart. The cores are still doing fine, though, on the side of Omegalil, and you can see they're dealing with the supports just as well as this Spectre is. As they spot him, do they have a disable? They don't. Nefrit will manage to get away. Nangarada, they're trying to TP that one. That tree's gonna hurt, and it slows him down just enough for Kellen to clean up that kill. Dieback for him now.
They don't have buybacks on Night Stalker any longer, on Jakiro. GG. Yep. GG by EXTREMUM. They did put up a pretty decent fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
It's just they put up a good fight for a team that never reached